And we want to let you know that all the information we're going to be sharing this afternoon will be accessible to you all later on. So at your convenience, this recording will be available on our YouTube channel. And that's our LAP parent channel. The link is posted on your screen. So feel free to access all this information, the video, the slides, the audio, everything is there. Also, at the end of the second session, we normally hold 2 sessions. So this is the 12:30. We hold another session later on in the evening at 5:30 to give opportunity for people that missed this one. So after the second session, the slides as well will be uploaded on the Parent Square where you got this message, where you got the message of the meeting from. This is the district level LAP team. To the far left, you see the LAP curriculum coordinator and the president of Dr. Denisha Moore. Our administrative assistant, that's the Miss Anna Mojica, is also there. Mr. William Escovill, he is here this afternoon today. He speaks Spanish and English. And my humble self, Mrs. Bukola Akimbola. I speak English and I speak Yoruba. Let's dive quickly into some district demographics. So as you can see on your screen, we are always very proud to introduce ourselves as a very diverse district. So we have 84 different countries represented in our district. Awesome news. We are very proud and we always want to mention this at any time so that we know how warm and welcoming Wayne Township is. We are very diverse. The top countries, if you look to the far right, you can see a few top countries. We have the USA and Nigeria and Honduras, Mexico, Haiti, and just like that, Nicaragua, El Salvador, and we have those countries as listed. So again, at your convenience, please feel free to check out our demographics. They are very interesting. Also, we have 77 languages represented in our district. Again, awesome news. And you can see Latinx population have a chunk of the entire population apart from English. So you could see, you take a second, if you look at that beautiful, well put together map, you can see how our Latinx community, it's about 5,000. So well over 4,000 families identify with Latin. They speak Spanish. And we can see how we list our top languages as well. English, Yoruba, Creole, Tingriya, Asian Creole, Arabic, and that's in that order. So we are Wayne, simply Wayne. This afternoon, we are blessed to have 2 wonderful individuals that are going to be presenting to us. So as we know, as you all know, that we are very, very particular about academic achievement, support, and of course, family engagement. So we know the library is one resource that will always come in handy to every family, adults and children alike. So this afternoon, we have a wonderful library manager in our Wayne branch in the person of Miss Melinda Mullican. She's a known face to us, and it's always a joy to have her. Please join me to welcome Miss Melinda Mullican, the manager, Indianapolis Public Library Wayne branch, as she shares with us this afternoon. Miss Mullican, over to you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you for having me this afternoon. And of course, I'll be back at 5:30 as well. Yes, everyone is welcome into the public library. all ages, babies through, senior, are welcome into the library. We have, I actually have a PowerPoint to share, but I wanted to point out, we do have our collection, books and movies are in multiple languages. We have books bilingual as well. So if you haven't come into the public library recently, feel free to stop in and come and see us. Ask at the front desk or ask for librarian. You can ask for me, and we'll be happy to show you what we have available for everyone. On the library's main page, it's ndpl.org. That's our webpage if you want to go in and look and see what we have as well. I shared have a link in my YouTube or my PowerPoint to a YouTube channel that says welcome in multiple languages, just so you know. You do not have to have a library card to come into the public library. You can come in and browse. You can use our computers. We have what we call guest passes. Just ask for a guest pass to use a computer. You can sit and read anything that you find on our shelves. The library card is free. We do an application. I know the adult ed has our applications in multiple languages. In our branch, we have an English and Spanish, but we can always print out one in a different language upon request. The library card allows you to, of course, use our computers without having to get a guest pass. But you can also check out and take home feature movies, TV series, music in multiple languages, books in multiple languages. So to apply, you come into public library, fill out the application, and application is your name, your home address, your phone number, whether it's a home line or a mobile line, and an email address. And this information is so that we can get in touch with you if we need to. We do ask that you share your ID. That could be a driver's license, or it can be a state ID. My daughter doesn't drive, so she has a state ID because she doesn't need the driver's license. If you do not have your information, your address, or you don't have your information on your driver's license, just bring in a piece of mail. It can be a bill that has your name and your home address on it. We just have to, for the initial library card application, we have to see that you live in Indianapolis and Marion County. Now, teachers on here, if you don't have a library card with us and you don't live in Marion County, you could come in with your ID and your proof that you teach in Wayne Township and get a free library card as well. So, I don't know if there are any questions at this point. So I mentioned that we have a large collection. One of the reasons we would get in touch with you if we don't have the book or the movie or the CD on our shelves at Wayne, we can request from one of our other library branches. Wayne is one of 25 different locations in Indianapolis and Marion County. So if what you're looking for is on the other side of town, you do not have to drive over there unless you really want to, but you can ask the librarian like me to place a hold and request that the other library send that movie or that CD or that book to Wayne. And then you'll get notification, either your phone number or your email or text through your phone if you would like, so that you know it is here and you can come in and check it out. We still have curbside service for those who are immunocompromised, meaning, if you have any health issues that you don't want to be around a lot of people, you can call us 317-275-4530 and choose reference. or the front desk, I think it's called public service desk, and let us know what you would like to check out. If it's here on the shelf, we can check it out for you. You call us when you get here, and we'll bring it out so that you can pick it up without having to come into the library. We also have large type books, that's the larger print if somebody needs that. A lot of DVDs these days will do auto describe. So if somebody has difficulty seeing, what they call closed caption. We have multiple what we call adaptive technologies. So if there is something that you need help with or a family member needs help with, just let us know at the reference desk where you see me and my staff sitting. So along with that, we do what we call programs. We have children's programs on.
Miss Mullican, I'm sorry, can I
Yeah.
quickly chime in something? Are you able to share anything like your PowerPoint, or you do not?
Oh yeah, I didn't know if you.
Yes,
Yeah.
you are a co-host, so you're able to share your
Oh,
screen if you want to.
I am so sorry. Okay, hold
That's
on
fine.
just a second.
And please, if you can just slow down just a little bit for William
Oh, yes.
to be able to do the translation.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Give me 1 second. Nope, that's not it. Hold on a second. And
Or I can share it for you if you are not able to.
yeah, for some reason, I am not finding it. I thought I had saved it.
Okay.
If you have it handy.
Okay. Okay, yes. Can I go ahead and share it?
Yes, please. And can everybody hear me okay? Because I saw somebody had trouble hearing. Okay.
So which screen would you want me to highlight?
Let's go back to the first screen. Yeah, good. That has the website, in ndpl.org. And below is the YouTube link to hear Welcome to the Library in English, or well, in Spanish, I believe it's Amharic, and a few other languages. Okay. And then you want to go to the library card one, the next one? Yes. And this is what I was referring to. So yes, you can apply for a library card online, ndpl.org, and library card, get a library card. But your phone service has to be in your name. So if it is in somebody else in your family's name, you will not be able to do the online. And that online card is just for electronic resources. Okay. Otherwise, you can come into us and apply in person. And this is what I was referring to at the curbside service. We have 25 locations. So in Wayne Township, we're usually the closest library branch, though Eagle Branch on 38th Street is, also in Wayne Township. I believe the West Indianapolis branch is closest to Maplewood. And I'm trying to think, Lyndhurst, 7th and 8th, I believe. So it's the same services regardless of which library branch you walk into. The only exception to that is Speedway. Speedway, Indiana has their Speedway library, their own police, their own public services, separate from Indianapolis, Marion County. And then, okay. And actually, can you go back a screen, please? So I was referring to the adaptive technology. The services, yes, you can find a book in your native language. And actually, we have English conversation circles. Let's see if I can share. Well, I don't know if I can share a link this way. That if you go to ndpl.org and look up programs or events and programs, you'll get a screen that allows you to choose which library location, or you can just simply say English and click search or click enter, and you will get a listing of what libraries have English conversation circles to practice English skills. And I posted in the chat, we have a multilingual computer help program coming up, I believe this Saturday. So if you know someone who is working on learning or updating their computer skills and would like to hear it in their native tongue, there's like 4 different languages for this one. You can do that. I believe Hallville branch on Michigan has Spanish language computer help or computer classes. We have electronic materials. There's ebooks that you can, if you have a device, you can check out and read the book on your device, your phone or your tablet, Kindle, whatever. You can also do e-audio. I do a lot of e-audio, so I can listen in my car and when I'm doing housework. But we do have, if you don't have a device, you can also check out CDs to learn a language, to listen to a story. There's a whole list of options there. We also have librarians who help with resumes, help you search for jobs. We have people who come in and we can put you on the website if you're doing any kind of search, citizenship or whatever. We can't advise you on what to put in these applications because we're not trained that way, but we can help you understand what's written on the screen if you need it. Wayne Library is one of many locations that has seeds, vegetable seeds, herbs, and flowers. These are free. You can come in, ask where the seed library is. We'll be happy to show you, and open and take out whichever packets you would like. You don't have to check them out. You don't have to bring anything back. And actually, we are going until our supplies run out. So I'm the one that does the seed library for Wayne. So I know we have coneflower, marigolds, and milkweed in our flowers. And then many herbs and vegetables. So, and yes, we have different programs and events throughout the year. I just put some select ones on here, but the easiest way to look to see what we have is ndpl.org, and then click on programs and events, and you can choose your location. You can choose your branch if you would like. And yes, we have story times in bilingual, Spanish. I believe we're doing Ukrainian, and we're looking into other languages. So please reach out to me if you would like us to offer a bilingual story time in your native language, because that's the next step, is figuring out what language, what bilingual story time to do here at Wayne, in addition to Spanish. We have programs for school age. The Pause to Read, we have a live dog that comes into a library named Dakota, comes with his trainer, and so kids can sit down and read a book, practice their reading out loud. That's free. We have programs for adults, health and wellness, help with computers, all kinds of things available. And yes, we have music performances. Those are usually at the Central Library downtown. Mm-hmm. Yes, I wanted to, I sent Bukola and William a link, but I wasn't sure if those links actually worked. There are English language resources through the Immigrant Welcome Center and the Public Library. So those are two links there that will lead you to what place is closest to you if you need to practice your English, and adult education is full, because I know their classes fill out pretty quickly. And then the English conversation circles and bilingual story times is that link in the bottom. And this is the what I was referring to. I wasn't sure if the QR code still worked. So this is what we have through believe the end of the year. The closest branch would be the Eagle location, closest to us. That would be Tuesday, Thursday, 10 to 12 at noon. And then that's the in-person, and then there's virtual ones as well. Okay, and that you go to ndpl.org, click on programs and events, and look up English. That'll be the easiest way to find those the courses. We do ask that you register online, and it's just so that we can know that you want to participate, and you can leave us contact information so we can get back in touch with you. Send you a link for the virtual ones. And then, yeah, this is when I wasn't sure about the QR code, so I included the link. So that is all I have to share. If anyone has any questions, anything I can answer, please let me know.
Thank you so much, Ms.
You are very welcome.
Funke. It's always good to have you around. So we have all listened to all the resources the Indianapolis Public Library has to share and has to offer each family. Please feel free to always make use of this resource for your children and for yourselves as well, because it is very, very important that we as parents and caregivers, we provide time for these kids to be able to support them to achieve their goals, especially the academic achievement. We are very, very particular about that. And of course, the entire wellness and well-being of the entire family. So thank you again. If you have any question, please feel free to reach out to us. And of course, the library, you can go to the website and click on those links as provided. Don't forget, after this meeting, you'll be able to access all this information at your own convenience. So thank you again. And she will come back later on in the evening. Should you have any other questions at 5:30.
Thank you. And I have to jump out for another meeting. So thank you.
Yeah. We will see you later on, definitely at 5:30.
Okay. And please feel free to reach out to me, if you need anything library related. Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Without further ado, we are going to be going to our second session. In the Parent Square message that was sent out, we mentioned that as much as we care about the academics, we also care about the well-being of the entire family. So today we are going to listen to another presenter. And let me quickly give you a brief background about our presenter today. So her name is Mrs. Funke Oladele. She's a healthcare professional with over 14 years of experience. She has worked at the Eskenazi Outpatient Mental Health Clinic as a wellness coach. And currently, she coordinates collaborative learning network of multiple stakeholders and health systems across the country. And it is noteworthy to mention that she is a BD alumni. She graduated from Ben Davis High School. So we are very proud that she is coming back to give back to her roots. She's also a first-generation immigrant. So I'm going to let her do the rest of the introduction, but we are very excited this afternoon to introduce Mrs. Funke Oladele to talk to us about prioritizing mental health. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate that. I will go ahead and share my screen now. Okay, are you able to see my screen now? My full presentation? Okay, I can't hear anything. All right. Hope everybody can hear me. All right, I want to assume you can hear me. I'm not hearing anything. All right. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Funke Oladele, like she mentioned, and I am honored to be here today. I'll be talking about prioritizing mental health as this is important for all of us. And I would like to mention that I am a first-generation immigrant. And coming into this country in 2004 with my family, my parents, and my sisters. We started off at Ben Davis High School. Well, I was the first of the family, so I was in high school when I started here, and it was wonderful. Actually, being part of the LAP program, I had to join the LAP program, and it was really wonderful part of my experience at Ben Davis, and for my sisters also in their various schools up until elementary at that time. So I want to let you know that your kids are in safe hands. They are going to be well taken care of by this program. So with 14 years in healthcare and with a huge focus on mental health because it's still a major issue all through our lives. Mental health is always at the top of healthcare topics. So I am an advocate for mental health and overall well-being of individuals, and I'm honored to be here today. Our outline today is to talk about mental health in general and why it's important, some statistics about it, some signs and symptoms to watch out for, and to think about ways to improve your mental health. And we would also go over some resources that will be shared with you after this session. So, what is mental health? Mental health really includes I wouldn't describe it as your state of mind. It includes your emotional, physical, psychological and social well-being. It's all about how you feel, how you think, which also affects the way you act and can show up in the way you act and handle things and relate with other people and to go about your daily life and make choices. So it is important, as you know, that this is really part of who you are. And mental illnesses come as a result of many different factors, but it manifests in a way that shows in the way you think, maybe mental illness disorders, or they're like disorders that happen ranging from mild to severe. It can affect the way you think, the way you feel, the way you act towards other people. So we want to make sure that we're addressing this adequately in a way that we are not escalating to levels where our mental health is not well controlled or well taken care of. That's why we're focusing on this. Many factors can affect your mental health. It could be biological. There's some mental illnesses that happen as a result of genetics, right? Some conditions are inherited, and some are because of the way we're wired, brain chemistry. Sometimes it's hormone associated. So those are more biological factors that can be out of your control, but being aware helps us to know how to get help. And your life experiences can affect your mental health. Trauma, maybe abuse when you were younger at any point in time, anything you experience. Life experiences can also include maybe exposure around you, your environment where you grew up. If people are from like third world countries or like war-stricken areas or places where there's inequality or tribalism or severe poverty, you might find that those things affect the way people think and feel And sometimes when there's, lack of safety or security around you, you might feel unpleasant. Family history of mental problems can also affect or contribute to mental illness. Substance use is a huge one also. And I want to let you know that mental health can affect anybody at any age. Anybody at any age. So it's not only specific to adults. You would really hear some adults when their kids say, I'm stressed. They'll be like, well, you don't have a job. You're eating for free. You're living in my house for free. Why would you have any stress? Yes, your kids can be stressed, and we ought to pay attention to those things. So why is it important? Why is mental health important? I've mentioned some of the reasons why. It is important because it affects every area of your life and how you present every day, how you show up, how you are productive, and what you are able to do. The way you relate with your family, it affects your family. It affects your work. It's what allows you, enables you to be able to do what you need to do well. And so when your mental health is not well taken care of, or you're not feeling pleasant mentally, then you're not able to do as much as you're supposed to do. And I'd like to let you know that poor mental health is actually associated with high risk for chronic diseases. When I worked in Eskenazi as a care coordinator, there were many of the people who had mental health who also had comorbidities with other health conditions, chronic health conditions like diabetes, hypertension, or other diseases that they were managing at that time. Now, I'm not saying that having mental health can cause this, or having diabetes or chronic illnesses will cause that. However, it can affect the way you feel, right? Depending on what's going on in your life. And there are many other factors, like I mentioned earlier. So that's why it's important to understand how you're feeling and to take adequate care of yourself. And really, we found that people who have chronic diseases tend to be at higher risk for mental illness, and vice versa sometimes. So it's just a risk factor to watch out for, right? So someone who have diabetes or who have high blood pressure might just feel stressed, or the way they handle stress might be a little bit like they're worried about things, or if they are people who have anxiety or tend to worry a lot, you might find that they're struggling and juggling between mental illness and still managing their health condition. So it's important to pay attention to the way you feel at any point in time. I'd also like to mention with mental illness, it's very easy, like compared to health conditions, right? If you have diabetes, they can help you detect and diagnose that you have those things, but only you can tell how you feel, right? Except maybe they're like genetic stuff or some symptoms that are manifesting beyond your control. Unless you open up about the way you feel, it might be hard for me to tell, or anybody to tell, that you're dealing with mental health, mental illness. So if I see you and say, hi, how are you doing today? And you say, I'm fine. That's all I'm going to know. But maybe you just cried all the way through your drive prior to us meeting. I would never know that. I would never know that you're depressed if you're not open about it. Nobody would ever know that you're not able to sleep well unless maybe it's your family member that's around you, right? So that's why you need to take ownership of your own health and know how you feel internally, right? It's your world on the inside, right? And it affects the way you present outside. Even though sometimes we can put makeup on or put a smile on to cover, some of the things we're dealing with, you cannot lie to yourself when you're having a hard time. And I want to let you know that everyone can deal with mental health at any point in time, mental health issues at any point in time. Any situation can affect your mental health at any point in time. So how common is it? According to the National Institute of Mental Health, nearly 1 in 5 adults live with a mental illness. And that's very common, right? So that means you put 5 people together, at least one of them is dealing with mental illness. Whether diagnosed or undiagnosed, I want to let you know that, right? So even if you're not diagnosed clinically, there is at least one person out of 5 people standing who could be dealing with mental illness. And over 1 in 5 youths between ages of 13 and 18, either currently or at some point in time, have had serious mental illness. Those are the kids, around your kids' ages, right? And the kids that are in these school districts. About 1 in 25 US adults live with a serious mental illness, such as schizophrenia, bipolar, or major depression. So this is to be aware of, that it is very common. And I would let you know, I've been involved in health equity work. I worked at Purdue a few years ago, and we were able to go into communities, post-COVID, right? Try to address some health equity issues. And we realize mental health is usually one of the top 3 issues that each community is dealing with. And you will find an influx of people with mental health diseases, that mental health issues, that they are seeking help. Following COVID, I think it's helped us to realize that we need to pay attention to our mental health, and people are tending to seek help more. So just normalizing seeking help for these things. I know over the years, and even for a multicultural group like this, I want to highlight to you, because of the places you come from, maybe mental health is not typically addressed, or they're not typically talked about. There's stigma associated with mental health. It might be difficult for people to be open about it. So we want to talk about the symptoms today, and we'll talk about getting help eventually. What to watch out for: stress. I mentioned that earlier. Recognize your body and your makeup and how you're feeling. When you're stressed, you're stressed. Don't lie about it. Don't feel like it's part of everyday life. Stress is not okay. It's not good for you. Yes, you have to work. Yes, you have to do whatever you need to do. But recognize when you're stressed, when you're not feeling good, when you're overwhelmed, and you feel like, the world is caving in on you. You have too much going on. That is stress. Sometimes some people are not able to think right. Some people are not able to sleep well. You become irritable, feeling numb. And some people, when they're stressed, they're eating too much, or they're not able to eat, right? So you have to pay attention to yourself and your body and how you're feeling. Sometimes people who are stressed tend to pull away. They're not doing their usual activities. You might find that you have low motivation to do things. Pay attention to how you feel. Low energy. I'm a young mom, and I remember when I started having my kids are 23 months apart. And at a point in time, I got so overwhelmed, and I had many other things I was doing, right? Getting involved in the community, getting involved in a lot of things. Those things, I didn't realize I was getting overwhelmed, and I would get really, really overwhelmed at night when it's time to go to bed. I'm tired, I'm irritable, I could be, like, oh my God, but I realized at that point in time, after a while, that, hey, you need to slow down. You need to take care of yourself. So realize when you are overwhelmed and call it what it is, and so that you can take care of yourself, right? When you're feeling numb, having unexplained aches in your bodies and pains, yes, you can take Tylenol. Yes, you can take whatever you're taking, but you need to realize the root cause of those things and not just feel like medication is going to take it away. If it's stress, it is stress. Feeling helpless or hopeless, substance use is a huge one too. Some people want to numb their mental health using substance. And sometimes substance use will typically lead to mental illness. So it's important to pay attention to these things. Feeling confused, thinking of harming yourself, or feeling like life's not worth it. What's the point of being here anyway? When you start having suicidal ideations or suicidal thoughts, it is serious. You cannot overlook that. It is time to get help. When people start hearing voices, you've gone 1, 2, 3 nights, you've not been able to sleep, that is serious. Pay serious attention to that and take action. You find that you're not able to sleep, then it affects your ability to work. You're sleepy at work. You're not able to focus. You're not able to get productive. It's time to pay attention. There are families where maybe the father or the mother, they're very irritable. The kids will talk about, you're always yelling. You're always, some kids will not feel safe around their parents because every single thing you're yelling. Okay, are you stressed, or is that parenting? We have to pay attention to things like that. When you're stressed, you tend to, every little thing might get on your nerves. When you're dealing with things that are going on around you, or you feel overwhelmed, you might tend to take it out on other people around you. That can be symptoms to watch out. Those things can be symptoms to watch out for. Mood swings, up and down. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down, sometimes you're not happy, sometimes you're irritable. Watch out for when you start having mood swings and unpleasant thoughts, and many other things that can be things to watch out for. So we've mentioned some of this, and I want to believe you can identify some of the symptoms you've been experiencing, or you may have experienced at some point in time, or you might continue to deal with, and start identifying those things and realize that, yes, you need to pay attention to your mental health. And so what would you do? Should you continue life like that? No. For the sake of yourself and for the health of your family, no. Please slow down. And let's think about ways to improve our mental health. Self-care is very important. Like I mentioned earlier, if you say hi to me and you say you're doing good, you can tell me you're doing good, but you're not doing good. That's where you have to take care of yourself. Identify that you're not doing well. And self-care is very important to prioritize when you're dealing with a ton of mental health concerns or situations. These are not my ideas. These are recommended by mental health boards. So this is also by the National Institute of Health. You would also find this on the on SAMHSA, the substance use and the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Administration page. They also recommend some of these things to pay attention to as ways to improve your mental health. You want to make sure you're getting regular exercise, just walking. So I actually work from home, right? And sometimes when I feel like, I've been working a lot and I just need to slow down, I take a walk. Schedule walks into your daily routine. I used to work as a wellness coordinator also. They actually built in some time. And when I have break from work, take a walk, just to release, get fresh air. It really makes a difference. Getting regular exercise helps to improve your mood. So you find people going to the gym, it really helps to improve your mental health. Eating healthy, having a well-balanced diet is also important. And then it helps you to stay in control. So we mentioned that overeating sometimes, or having low appetite, can also be symptoms of mental health. But when you are on top of your diet, then you can see that it helps you to balance things out well. So pay attention to eating your fruits and vegetables. Drinking plenty of water can also be great for improving your focus and energy. Prioritizing sleep. I cannot emphasize this enough. We need sleep for our body to refresh and replenish itself of its energy. You can keep going without slowing down. So please make sure you're prioritizing your sleep. Try some relaxing exercises. I personally enjoy meditation. It's something that's helped me to slow down. Deep breathing exercises also work very well. I personally do that. Lay down on your bed, or sit down, or even when you're stressed, or before you lash out at somebody, take a deep breath. It can be a few things to do. I want to recommend it for your family. Have a mental health practice. Maybe you're going to bed at night, you have kids. Let them also be aware of mental health practices. Take deep breaths. How was your day? Be able to diffuse for the day. It really helps, right? As a family together. Then you are teaching them and equipping them for the future. Muscle relaxation, there are apps you can use. You can also go on YouTube, type in meditation, guided meditation videos. They will guide you through meditation and slowing down and breathing exercises. Journaling is also a good thing. So we mentioned some of the things that contribute to mental health could be abuse, or maybe experiences that are unpleasant you've had, or maybe you're going through a difficult time. You want to be able to have an outlet, right? So journaling can be a way to track your thoughts, your feelings, and how you are, and just let things out, right? So journaling also is helpful. And setting your goals and priorities is really good for people who get overwhelmed, having too many things to do. You're not slowing down. So you also want to be able to learn to say no, right? Learn to say no to some tasks. If you're already overwhelmed, prioritize what you need to do for the moment and celebrate what you're able to accomplish. Don't overwhelm yourself with too many things. Recognize your capacity, and that's okay to say no when you need to say no. It's the best thing that can happen to you. If you're a yes, yes, yes person, you would check yourself. You're going to be stressed most of the time, really. So let's know our limits. Practice gratitude, and then focus on positivity and stay connected. Stay connected to family and friends. Talk to somebody, share how you're feeling, and seek help when you need help. Talk to a counselor. Counseling helps, right? I want to mention to you, as multilingual family, there are many cultures that don't really address mental health, especially the men. I would highlight that because I've actually worked with people from diverse backgrounds, and also being from Africa, you would tend to find that people don't tend to seek mental health help because they feel like there's a stigma associated with it. That means something's wrong with me and all of that. Nothing's wrong when you seek help. We need to talk about our pain. We need to address the things we've experienced or that are still affecting our lives. There are many adults that are dealing with pain from their childhood, or people who came from places where there's been war. They've not talked through those things to heal. Maybe it's the loss of a family member. You've not been able to heal from those things. And I will let you know that your kids can tell when you're not doing well. So please pay attention to those things. And it's the best thing you can do for yourself and your family. How is your mental health? I want to ask you. You don't have to answer, but this is just introspection for you to really look inwardly and think about how you're doing. If you want to share, that's totally fine. But how is your mental health? How have you been feeling? How does your state of mind affect your daily living? Are you able to produce well? Are you just going and going and going, but realize that you're not feeling full inside. You're not feeling well on the inside. You're not feeling happy most days, even though you're putting on a smile. You need to pay attention to that. Have you had family and members tell you, you're not seeming like yourself, or saying something's going on? What's going on with you? Pay attention. And how can you start improving your mental health today? I've gone over some ways to improve, but can you make sure you identify and start making a change today? And I want to encourage you to please get help. Recognize your feelings and your state of mind and your triggers. What triggers you? What doesn't make you feel good? Is it, maybe you have too much going on? Maybe it's your bills. It is real out here. You're working so much, trying to make ends meet. You need to take care of those kids. Acknowledge that you're stressed. And yes, things can be at a place where you have no control over certain things, maybe your schedule at work, but how can you make sure you're taking care of yourself in the midst of all the things you're having to address and still provide for your family? Address your triggers and then make sure you're able to make provisions for improving your health. If symptoms persist for more than 2 weeks, sleep, I want to say, don't wait for 2 weeks before you get help. If you cannot sleep for 2 to 3 days, please get help. Call your doctor, talk about these things. Or maybe you start taking care of yourself. If it doesn't get better, call your doctor. Take advantage of your employee assistance if you have health insurance. Before health insurance, I think for some employers, they will tell you some mental health resources they have. Call. You can have 2 or 3 sessions with a counselor. And then if they feel the need for you to get more sessions, then you can increase those. Talk to your doctor and get referred to mental health professional. And here are some resources that will be shared with you for you to take advantage of. You can take a mental health test here. If you want to take like depression test, you feel like you have anxiety, you're always worrying about things. You can take several mental health tests through these links here. This link has information about stress and being able to cope with stress, caring for youth mental health you can find here. And there are many other resources too. The national helpline is always there. You can make a call. If you have suicidal ideation, you feel like, you're hopeless or feeling like you might commit suicide, please call these lines and you will get help. Do not struggle alone. And I do hope that your family continues to stay well and your well-being is prioritized, and that you continue to do well. Thanks for having me. And are there any questions or comments?
We want to say thank you so much, Mrs. Oladele, for those wonderful information and resources you have shared. Because of our time, we might not be able to take as much questions as anticipated, but we promise that we have your contact. If any of our families will want to reach out to you, they will definitely have your contact. We will let them have it. And again, we appreciate you joining us this afternoon and sharing your experiences and the resources you've brought and giving back to your community where you graduated. That's so exciting and interesting. So thank you so much. And we hope to see you later on. Please feel free to stay. We're wrapping up in a few minutes. Actually, we'll just share some resources and then we will meet again at 5:30 later tonight. Thank you.
I also want to say thank you so much for being here to all of our families and to both of our guest speakers. You shared some wonderful information, and I truly appreciate you taking the time to be with us today.
That's Dr. Morph. She was introduced earlier. She was in another meeting, but you're welcome, Dr. Morph, and it's good to have you on board to join us. So let me quickly share my.
I'm sorry, I have a question.
Okay.
Okay. My first question is without insurance for health, how do you go about that? Then I have an issue about my kids for immunization. I've been on HEAT for quite some weeks back. The appointment I got for them till 11th of December, which I'm to pay even for HEAT. So I want to find out how I will go about that, because the school is giving us an ultimatum for probably weeks, and which I would not be able to meet up. So what do I do, ma? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for that question. So the number one question, we have resources that we share from time to time. Even if you do not have money to pay, and I'm still going to go over some resources. We've shared some in the past. If you visit our website, the LAP channel, like I mentioned earlier, you see some of those resources that we have shared, places where you can do a walk-in or you have to book appointments, and it will be on a sliding scale or even totally free. So those resources are there for you to access. And then for the immunization, you mentioned that you already have an appointment scheduled. That's all the school wants to see. So if you are able to show that appointment card or information to the school nurse, the student is okay. Your students will not be affected or be sent home. So all these are just trying to put safety measures together for the child, for our students to be well, and also not just for themselves, but for other people. And that's why their immunization, their shot needs to be up to date. So you have your schedule, you're covered, don't worry. All you need to do is to show it to your teacher or to the nurse in the school.
Thank you, ma.
You're welcome. Okay. If you have more questions, please feel free to reach out after now to us, and we'll be able to help you. Okay. Let's quickly go through the resources and then we'll wrap up for this session. I'm going to share my screen again real quick. So we would like for you to take note of some dates. That's the closest and the next one that we're expecting is the Thanksgiving recess. And that will be from Wednesday, November the 22nd to November the 24th. That's Friday. That will be next week. So that means the students will be in school on Monday next week and Tuesday. But from Wednesday, they will be off school for Thanksgiving recess. And then students returns to school on Monday, November the 27th. Our next meeting, multilingual meeting, like today, after this evening session, the next month will be December 14th. So we'll be able to let you know when we are close to the date, if we're going to have it virtually or if it's going to be in person. So please watch out for that information when it's close by. Also, Monday, December 25th to January 5th will be our winter recess. Again, as we get close by, we will continue to reiterate that message and let you have that information as to when due. But just please watch out for it. These are some of the resources we have put together for today's meeting. Very important. Please take note, the Giant Marketplace Food Pantry, that's our own local food pantry in Wayne Township, is next week, Tuesday, November 21st at the Night Grade Center. So the link is there and you'll be able to see the foods, the type of foods that will be distributed. So please feel free. There will be some turkey. It's on a first come, first serve basis. If you are able to, get there on time, you might be able to get a turkey for Thanksgiving, but it's first come, first serve. Also, this is another resource, great resource. It's called Grassroots Project. They supply winter coats and accessories for families. So please, the link is there. You will be able to get to their website and see those information. And every other resources that has been listed, the mental health resources, gleaners, adult education, Wayne Township assistance programs. Please be aware that after now, we'll list all these links so that you will be able to access them like one-on-one basis like we normally do. We'll be able to list them out and you will see them in the presentation slides when you're watching them later on. And this is all we have for you for this session. Again, we want to say thank you for always joining us. And please feel free to reach out if you need any support, any question, do not withhold. And we have listened. Today, we've been able to share resources about the library. Please encourage your children to make use of the library. They have great resource and it gets better because now they're working so hard to make it accessible in different languages. So you may be able to find your own home language and, to access those resources. So please make use of the library. Pay attention to your mental well-being. It is very essential. It is very important. Thank you, and we will see you later on at 5:30 if you are able to join us. Thank you, and have a beautiful rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.